Okay, go off to a very good start. Already doing a load of bending. What? How old are you? What? There's like pipes. Is there electricity? Beifong. Beifong. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and today I'll be reacting to The Legend of Korra Season 1, Episode 1. Now, I'm so excited to get into this show because after just seeing Avatar, I'm kind of still on a buzz from the final as it is. And it's so cool to think that they took the concept further and made a show for the next Avatar. That is what I know. This is meant to be the Avatar after Aang. So from what we've learned in Avatar, there should be waterbender in the cycle, and it means that Aang has to be dead at this point, which is very sad, but it also means this will be like, I'm assuming, a good time jump. Hopefully he didn't die young, so that's what I'm hoping for at least. So we'll just be in, because Avatar was incredible with how it just built the world, so I'm very looking forward to just seeing how the world would have developed over Aang's life and just getting to see a new Avatar and their journey. Also really looking forward to what kind of conflicts this show can do. I have been told that the structure of it was basically they didn't know how many seasons they were going to get, so I'm looking forward to just seeing how that changes compared to Avatar, because that felt like it was very much, they knew they were going to do 3 seasons, that's when they did the whole final thing. So I'm assuming the structure of this show is going to change, and I think that'll be quite interesting to see. Yeah, I think just after seeing what the creators did for Avatar, the original one, I can't wait to see what they do with this one, and just seeing what the world is like, what this new character is like, and just see if they can explore more sides of things, because Aang did an incredible job just exploring so many different aspects and building the world. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can add for a new character completely. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. But with that said, let's just dive on in.
Earth.
Okay, there is a cool new little intro. So,
Fire.
past avatars, cool, Kyoshi, Roku.
Air.
Is that Aang? He has a beard!
Water.
Is that Korra? I think that's Korra. She's on the poster.
My father, Avatar Aang, told me the story of how he and his friends
Aang had a kid?
transformed the Fire Nation colonies into the United Republic of Nations,
Huh?
could live and thrive together in peace and harmony.
Oh, whoa, that looks insane!
Republic City.
Okay, go off to a very good start.
But sadly, his time in this world came to an end.
Oh, it's still sad to think about that he's dead. That's still weird. Like, I guess Roku dead and he was still in Avatar, the first one, so hopefully that means he can come back as, like, Spirit Aang or something. But yeah, awesome that they have a whole city now. It's developed quickly. It's pretty surprised that, I guess, the colonies didn't go back to the Fire Nation. They were just allowed to stay, and then they just turned it into a massive city. That's pretty awesome. So is that like a whole separate nation?
We have investigated many claims, both here and in the northern tribe. All have turned out to be false.
So these are the White Lotus. That's what you said. So that's what they are now.
What makes you so sure your daughter is the one?
Oh, what?
I'm the Avatar! You gotta deal with it!
Already doing a load of bending. What? How old are you? Okay, that's... And okay, age up. That was a cool transition. Okay, she can already do a whole bunch of it as a child. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so, okay, yeah, okay. Lot to process. Older looking person, and she's gone for the feet, awesome. So older looking character, so not as young as the people from Avatar. I'm assuming that's because their audience is gonna age up. So keep the character that they're gonna use as protagonist around the same age. Okay, it's interesting that she's already so good at bending, and so I guess we're not going to see her do what Aang did and like get all the elements again, because it makes sense, because you wouldn't want an audience to go back and just watch the Avatar do the same lessons again. I think it could have been interesting, especially with fire, since that's what they're showing a lot, since she's water tribe.
Ever since you were a little girl, you've excelled at the physical side of bending, but completely ignored the spiritual.
Ah, okay, here we go, developing. This is her struggle, because Aang, of course, kind of excelled at the spirit stuff because he was an air nomad, but she can't do that.
Do you believe she's ready, Master Katara?
Yes. If anyone can teach her what she needs to learn, it's Tenzin.
Katara, old lady Katara. Good to know she's still alive at least. So, okay, so she has children. She has children in this world.
I mean, thank you all for believing in me.
I do like her personality. She's very, like, yeah, she just seems very energetic, but also, like, knows to be respectful. Nice.
Tenzin will be here in a few days.
So she has a polar bear dog. Interesting.
Just taking Naga out for a stroll. Don't worry, we're not going far.
This place a prison or... Wait, is this is Southern Water Tribe. It's developed. It's no longer little igloos. It's actually a village. Okay, I'm loving seeing the difference in just time. White Lotus. So these guys are everywhere then. So much is happening.
That a girl. Go, go, go!
So the Water Tribe do have animals they ride. So I'm kind of ashamed it's not like a giant wolf to match Sokka's helmet, but fine. Edward? Appa? Sky Bison, so much has changed. It's so different.
For the last 15 minutes, we are finally here.
Airbenders. And they can do stuff. Okay, so it's not just clothes.
I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. Please, help me.
Unhand me, strange woman!
That's your grandmother, Milo.
Okay, so that's your child. And she has grandchildren. Okay.
I've been dying to ask you, what happened to Zuko's mom?
Well, Deno,
Yeah.
incredible tale.
Granddad, you look old. How old are you?
Gotta be kidding. Answer the question. I'm invested in that story. I get to know that something happened then, so that's nice to know.
Wouldn't it?
Emma, let me help you.
Oh, okay, that's a like family. Okay, this is so weird.
Putting on me, I'm not helpless. I'm just pregnant.
Okay, so then, okay, there's a wife in this. So is she, why, obviously not airbender then, so, because that would be kind of incestual. So that's not a thing.
One child like me. A nice non-bender who doesn't blast wind in my face.
Okay, non-bender, but you actually become like an air nomad? That's cool.
Bender!
Kaya and Bumi certainly were, but Tenzin has always been...
More children, names. Kaya. Kaya. Wasn't that your mum's name? You know. Oh! And Bumi! Okay, a lot of names. Tenzin. Is that like. Kaya and Bumi, that obviously names mum and King Bumi. Oh yeah, he's probably long dead now. But Tenzin, where's that name come from? There's so much happening.
Have to return to Republic City.
But you're supposed to teach me.
Yeah, that seems kind of important. What could be more important?
Training is going to have to wait.
Well, I guess the world is at peace at the minute, so it's not like a desperate thing. That's quite nice, that you don't have the looming threat of war.
I have a responsibility to Republic City. I'm one of its leaders, and the situation there is very unstable right now.
Okay, interesting. Stuff's happening in Republic City, and he's a leader.
Believe me, I'd be happy to find another airbending master, but you're the only one. We're stuck with each other.
Why can't you just go with him?
If you can't stay here, then I'll go back to Republic City with you.
Wonderful.
The city is far too dangerous.
Why?
Avatar Aang
Why is the city dangerous?
keeping you safe while you mastered the 4 elements.
So Aang even like thought about the next Avatar? That's really awesome.
Compound like a prisoner is what he had in mind.
But it's not the right time for you to come to the city.
So this is a full-on compound made for like the Avatar, but this being treated by like a prison. That's not great. That's not good at all.
Oogie? Yip yip.
Googie. Oh, so there are more Sky Bison. That's amazing. Oh, Katara crying. Her son's going. Okay. I love the fact it doesn't feel like everyone's gone. Yes, Aang is gone, but there are people still alive. I hope Katara isn't the only one. I want to see Sokka. I want to see Suki, Toph, Zuko. I want to see them all. They better all be alive. May, Ty Lee, maybe? I think of who else was young that can still be alive at the minute.
Nice night for an escape, isn't it?
I have to find my own path.
I'm thinking so many things. Like, how does Katara view Korra? Because like it's the Avatar and technically rebirth and such.
My brother and many of my friends are gone.
No! Sokka!
And your generation to take on the responsibility of keeping peace and balance in the world.
Okay, but that's all great. We can't just stop that Sokka's dead. Why can't he be alive? Why can't he just be an old man?
Goodbye, Korra.
I want more on Katara's relationship with Korra. That seems like a very interesting thing to go down. Just her husband is dead and technically reborn as Korra. That'd be so interesting to look at.
We love you so much.
It's cool that she has parents. I didn't have that. Even the ship looks amazing. This is getting more modern. There's wires. What? There's like pipes. Is there electricity? There's stuff in the background of the boat. And just stow away on the boat. Steam powered. How modern has it gotten? I'm scared. I'm scared but excited. Like how different is it to the world of Aang? Or the Aang's world?
Naga, we're here.
What's it look like? What's it look like? You have crates and other stuff. There are pipes. That's a box. That has electricity in it.
Thanks for the ride.
Okay, yep, you sewed away. This looks so beautiful. So much. You have air balloons. What? Happening?
I've never seen so many Saddlemobiles.
And there are cars now. You got a statue. Check or something, maybe talk to him.
Air Temple Island. That's where Tenzin lives.
He lives on an island? That's cool, but kind of isolated.
Okay. Food first, then Air Temple.
The set looks so amazing. It looks like it's been painted. Like the buildings, it looks... Ow, you're running in traffic! Music's cool. I feel like she's breaking laws. This can't be allowed. Just causing chaos.
That'll be 20 you want.
I don't have any money.
Why
Then
not?
what good are you to me?
Okay, why don't you have money? You're part of society, aren't you? When the compound? How weird is the compound that she doesn't have money? This is so beautiful. I love this Avatar world in like. Oh, it feels so weird and modern. Okay, assuming homeless.
A while to procure a bush that beauteous.
Those sparkles.
There are a lot of you out here? I thought everyone in the city was living it up.
So not as good as it seems then.
You can't fish here.
You best skedaddle.
Okay, so that must be a law. So, okay, breaking laws.
Are you tired of living under the tyranny of benders? Then join the Equalists!
What?
The bending elite of this city have forced non-benders to live as lower-class citizens!
Bending what?
And together we will tear down the bending establishment!
Oh, mask. Is it a political movement?
And I bet you just love to knock me off this platform with some water bending, huh?
I'm seriously thinking about.
Oh, no, don't feed into it, no.
Benders like this girl only use their power to oppress us!
It's actually caught up to the modern age. There's bending supremacy.
I'm not oppressing anyone. You're
I mean, she just got it, it's not...
oppressing yourself.
That didn't even make sense!
Okay, they're actually doing bending supremacy. I thought this would be a cool thing to go down. I'm surprised Ozai didn't do it. They're actually doing it? Like modern times have done it?
Just head down this street. You should get moving, young lady. It isn't safe.
Okay, at least some kindness here. Why isn't it safe? Why isn't it safe? What's going on?
Or else I can't guarantee I can protect your fine establishment.
Oh, great. You have gangs?
Take one of my phonographs.
Oh, my. Bending supremacy. Scaring them with the fire bending.
Or else?
Or else what, hoodlum?
Hoodlum. Okay, she's going to protect the innocent. She's going to do Avatar stuff.
Since you're obviously fresh off the boat, let me explain a couple things.
Does no one know who the Avatar is at the minute? Did no one know? I thought that'd be like national news thing. And since things have gotten very more modern, I would assume they would have that sort of technology now.
Who do you think you are?
Why don't you come and find out?
Oh, she definitely is excited for this. Take water. Ah, and you froze his face. Nice. And
What just happened? Did she just earthbend?
Avatar. Someone putting it together, I feel like this should be so obvious. And yeah.
Can she firebend too?
She be...
There we go, it's clicking with people. I love the bending animation, still so amazing. I like the new, I love the new look of this place. But they're trying to run her over, that could work, that would get rid of an Avatar. Yeah, like this is like damaging a lot. Oh dear, yeah, this is this is damaging property. What? Air raids?
Police, freeze where you are.
These are police vehicles? They're not just there for, I don't know, I can't think of a thought.
Cool, metal benders.
What? They have a whole thing of metal benders now? That's so cool.
Arrest them.
Oh, they found such a cool use of metal bending. Toph, well done.
You're under arrest too.
Makes sense, you destroyed a lot of property.
From the looks of it, you smashed up a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't.
Can you metal bend? Maybe? If others can?
Down at headquarters.
Just go with them. Don't make yourself look like... And the dog's fighting as well. You're going to make yourself look like the enemy. That's not great. But then, what do we think of the police at the minute? Are they good police or bad police? I can't tell with this city. It's definitely a great city. They're showing a lot... You can grapple! I love this so much. This is already so creative with the bending. They can use these... They're basically using telephone... Ah! Ow! They're using telephone wires to get around and just grappling everywhere. Ow. Okay, this is so amazing. I love this already. This is such a good start to this character and just seeing this world. The world feels so much different, yet it still feels the same. It just feels like a lot of time has passed. It feels so good. Can we please get to the island already? Probably wouldn't be safe though anyway if they got the blimps. But there's so much like... Ooh, oh, they got the dog. And now you. That's really overpowered. You'd think with police like that, there wouldn't be criminals here, but I guess that probably adds more to the kind of greyness of this city.
And city property.
It was a statue of.
You should have called the police and stayed out of the way.
But I couldn't just sit by and do nothing.
When you have benders, you have like superheroes everywhere. Why can't they help people?
I am well aware of who you are, and your avatar title might impress some people, but not me.
Kind of like that, no special treatment. She did do wrong.
I'm gonna talk to whoever's in charge.
You're talking to her. I'm Chief Beifong.
Beifong. Beifong?
Lin Beifong? You're Toph's daughter.
What?
Well, then why are you treating me like a criminal? Avatar, Aang, and your mother were
Stop
friends.
trying to get out of it. Just accept that you did stuff and let me just be really amazed that Toph has children.
You can't just waltz in here and dole out vigilante justice like you own the place.
What did Aang do? Did he cooperate with the city or did he act like her?
Let him in.
Okay, this guy, Tenzin, Beifong, so many, moments.
Lin, you are looking radiant as usual.
Cut the garbage, Tenzin.
Oh, they must have been friends growing up, right? There's no way that Toph and Aang would have separated as they grew up. Their kids would have played together.
We'll be heading back to the South Pole immediately.
Why?
As to drop the charges against Korra, I will take full responsibility for today's regrettable events and cover all the damage.
Okay, but still think... I mean, she needs to understand what she did wasn't great. She destroyed a lot of property. That's the bad
Always a
thing.
pleasure.
She just used metal bending to undo the cuffs. And is this whole room metal bending? I love this so... Okay. Okay, I love this so much. All the characters have so much personality.
Tenzin,
What is
please.
that platypus bear pet?
Katara agreed with me that I should come. She said my destiny is in Republic City.
And that's your mum.
Don't bring my mother into this.
I love this.
I saw a lot of the city today, and it's totally out of whack.
Yeah.
I understand now why you need to stay. Republic City does need you.
Stroking his beard. Is that thinking? It would be good, and like she's old enough to... She should be learning now. I love that statue. Oh, that's good. I don't know. Would he like this statue because it's basically a giant reminder that his dad's gone? I don't. Would that be good? So the White Lotus really has just expanded. What is their purpose now? They're definitely not a secret organization. They're just like a Avatar security force, like a secret service type thing.
Are you coming to live with us on the island?
No, I'm sorry, Iki.
Come on, feel guilt. Keep her here. It's for the good of the world that she learns airbending. You're the only one that can teach her, and just multitask.
I have done my best to guide Republic City towards the dream my father had for it. It has fallen out of balance since he passed.
Question, what is the Avatar's role in the city? Is it like the Avatar's to the world, right? Would the Avatar like be present in this city? Like what is there meant to do here? How important was Aang to this place? Is that why it's gone out of whack? Because he's gone?
Thank you! You're the best!
Yay!
And yeah, she got to stay. Oh, she goes pick up him. I love these shots. This looks so... That's painting, right? That looks so beautiful. Oh, this is so weird. Microphones and just... Oh, this is so weird to think about. Just Avatar like this.
I'm of the anti-bending revolution, or both.
Revolution? That's the whole thing? Not just a, movement?
Yes, I am definitely here to stay, but honestly, I don't exactly have a plan.
She's been here a day. Don't expect a lot from her at the minute.
All I know is Avatar Aang meant for this city to be the center of peace and balance in the world.
Is that balance, though? Having one place be the center of balance?
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Radios, and it's like old-timey radios. I love the aesthetic of this.
So, the Avatar has arrived early.
You look awesome.
It looks like we'll have to accelerate our plan.
The Masked Man, who are you? Okay, interesting. Non-benders. So, wait, the villain's actually a non-bender. That is awesome. Okay, right off the bat, this has set up some really interesting stuff. So I already love just the time jump, but just seeing how different the world feels. It feels like completely different, yet it still has the touches of Avatar. It still feels like Avatar. You have the statue of Aang, you have all these little reminders, and you still have, I guess, the South Pole. Hopefully, I'm hoping that we go back to some other places and just see what happened to them. Just to get there, because now you have this whole new place, which I'm guessing is like the main setting now. So I'm hoping it doesn't just stay here, because the world is so much bigger and got to travel everywhere. I'm hoping Korra doesn't just stay in Republic City. But already just getting so much going on. Sokka's dead. Don't like that. Wish he was alive. Why can't he just be an old guy? Why don't? That I'm just I'm gonna have to process. Don't like that he's dead. Yeah, so old woman Katara's there. She has children in Tenzin, and she has other children in Kaya and Bumi, obviously named after her mum and King Bumi. So I love that. I just love that. So I can't wait to. I hope we get to meet them. We better meet all the children. There better not be a child left out. I'm assuming there's got to be. If Aang and Katara have more, I'd assume others have more. Yeah. Then you had Lin Beifong. So Toph had a child. She seems very strict compared to her mum. That is quite interesting. And like a police officer. What, where did they get into that? Toph being, there was a statue. Was that Toph? Maybe? But like, why would Toph be in police? She's just chaotic and doesn't really care about anything. Why would she want to be law enforcement? That seems interesting. But then, so maybe it's just a statue, like Aang has a statue, maybe Katara, Suki, Sokka all have statues everywhere. And like, so Lin is police officer, very different to her mum. That is interesting, but I love what they've done with metal bending. It now feels like its whole own thing. Korra called them metal benders, not earth benders. That's become a whole subset. That is awesome in itself, and they actually use as a police force. They can grapple with metal that they have as wires, and they can slide on telephone poles. That is so cool. So already this has done stuff that I wanted. They're exploring bending in so many different ways already. I love the start. The look feels a little bit different. The ice that Korra used looked bluer, I guess, compared to Katara's. It feels like the animation has gotten better in terms of bending. But then again, it's still how the animation's used. I still think the ending of Avatar going to be very hard to beat in that just level of bending style. But this has already done a good start in just seeing how, I guess, the ice has changed and just seeing how metal bending is working. But yeah, this really does drops you in the deep end with how much lore is going on at the minute. So you have Republic City, which is the Earth Nation colonies that the Fire Nation took over, transformed into a city for all nations. That, I feel like, is a good compromise for like expanding the world and but also keeping people together. This way, you're not really going to have a war, because the Fire Nation would have people in this city, so they can't really conquer it, but it's because the Earth Nation and the other nations would have people in this city who would fight to protect it. It's something equally owned that can't really be conquered by one. That is pretty good, but it's still interesting to think about that they used the Earth Nation colonies to turn this, they use that to make it a city. So whose dominion is that under then? Would it be under the Earth Kingdom since it's on their continent? Or no, almost seems like its own independent thing, because that's how you would want a balanced city that has everyone there. If it was owned by the Earth Kingdom, I'd assume you'd have a lot more Earth benders there, and it wouldn't really be equal. So is it its own nation, technically? Yeah, I love that the air sort of stuff is continued and it doesn't die with Aang, so his culture can pass on. And I love that Tenzin has a wife that is a non-bender, but has also adopted the culture. She's dressed in the attire. She could just be dressed like a normal person, but no, she's actually got the Air Nation wardrobe on. So I'm assuming she has fully gone with the culture because she loves her husband and she's sort of helping him bring that culture back to the world. Love that. And they have children. Wait, she was pregnant. With how many children do they have? They had the one daughter who asked about Zuko's mum, another daughter who seemed very energetic, and a kid with a gigantic head. And then she was pregnant. So they've got 4 children, and 3 of them at least are airbenders. I love just that, and that the airbending hasn't just vanished. And I think the most interesting part of this is how it ended and the thing that it set up, being non-benders and bending supremacy. That is such an interesting concept, and I love it so, so much. Like, it's something that would fit so naturally into this world. And I'm surprised Ozai didn't do it. He kind of had supremacy, where he wanted to wipe out all other bending styles but Fire Nation. Yet he had no problem with people who couldn't bend. I'd assume if he had a child that couldn't bend, then that would be a different story, but luckily he didn't. But it's so interesting that they created this divide between non-benders and benders. It's something so naturally different for people. Like, literally, a non-bender probably wouldn't be able to join the police force here, because they couldn't keep up with all the metal bending police force, could they? Like, what other stuff is going on where non-benders would be disadvantaged against benders? It's such an interesting concept to go down, and I hope this is, and like the fact that it's a non-bender who's the villain, I guess, is that what he is? And he's the antagonist here, at least, maybe not villain, but antagonist. It's a non-bending villain against the Avatar. This is something so cool, and I cannot wait to see how it progresses. At the last show, the whole idea was that you had there was 2 extremely powerful benders. Now you have an Avatar, who isn't quite the Avatar yet, because they can't do airbending, but you're paired them with someone who cannot bend, and they are the villain. I love how much they just do with non-benders. They don't forget about them. They don't push them to the side. We saw it with Sokka and Suki and how capable they were. Now you actually have one that's able to be a villain. I cannot wait to see how that progresses. Okay, I really enjoyed this episode. This was such a fun introduction to the show as it is. There's a few things that I'm a little bit about, but I feel like it makes sense for the audience that I guess this was made for. So right off the bat, I'm thinking you have Korra, who's already mastered 3 out of 4 bending elements. Like, what I'm thinking is that you have Korra, who's mastered already 3 out of 4 elements, which I think kind of a shame that we don't get to see her follow the same journey Aang did. But as I know that the structure of the show was a bit more unreliable than Avatar, where they didn't know if they were going to get more seasons. Makes sense that you want to actually have the Avatar be the Avatar quicker rather than when you knew you had 3 seasons to stretch out. Plus, I do think part of the decision might have come from thinking the audience might not want to see the Avatar train to get all the elements again, considering you did that with Aang. But I feel like I wouldn't have minded that. I would have thought I would have been quite interested seeing how she got firebending down, because that feels like it would be very interesting to see how Waterbender copes with learning how to firebend, like when we saw Aang learn how to earthbend. Yeah, then I think that's kind of my only complaint at the minute. Just because that's just from creative standpoint and the way the show's been structured. So I think it's completely understandable why they've done it. And what they've done, regardless, with this episode, has been pretty amazing. Korra herself, she's been, I think, set up well. I feel like I've got a good sense of her personality, very energetic, she wants to learn, but she also has some societal misunderstandings because she's been kept in a compound her whole life. That doesn't seem like a great thing that's been introduced for new avatars. Hopefully that ends with her. But like, she seems like a fun character, and I do like that they basically aged her up compared to following another 12-year-old around. So it feels like they've had the audience who watched Avatar when they were 12, and they've grown up as the show progressed, and now they've given them a more young adult Avatar to then follow along when they're young adults. That seems like that's why she is now this age. And I do like they stressed what her journey is at the minute. Her problem right now is that she can't airbend just because she doesn't have a teacher. And I assume she'd get that pretty fast, so you can have a full-on Avatar by the end of season 1, because they didn't know if they're going to get season 2. But her main issue is her spiritual connection. Kind of hoping that gets spread out a little bit if they can, because that feels like that's probably going to be one of the most interesting things to develop, considering Aang was always quite spiritual. He was a monk, so for 12 years of his life he's going to be thinking about all that stuff. Korra, Water Tribe, is very distant from that whole culture, so I think that'll be super interesting to get someone from the outside of nomads and all of this and have them look into the spiritual side of stuff. That is what I hope gets stretched out compared to her learning the elements. But yeah, the world building for this episode was already just insane. Getting to see not only the time jump and how much is advanced, but getting to see a whole new city, nation type thing in the center of it. Learning that Aang and Zuko made this place out of old Fire Nation colonies. Something good came from that, which is good. And it's actually a place where anyone can go and live regardless of the nation. Love that. Then we got to see how the Southern Water Tribe has developed, and I guess the Avatar has a compound, the White Lotus have a new role, you have Air Nation still going, I guess, with Tanzin, and his children and family, and they have a whole Air Nation island, which I guess would be their own sovereign property, because of course the Air Nation is no longer there, and it's kind of what happened to the rest of the air places then, air temples? I hope that we get to go see other places in the world. I hope it doesn't just stay in Republic City, because I want to see how everything else developed. I want to see what they've done with the other Air Nation temples, since we had the one that was entirely inhabited by refugees. I want to see what that became of that. I want to see the Northern Water Tribe and just see how that's grown. The Fire Nation, Earth Kingdom, Ba Sing Se, and Omashu. I would love to see what happened with those. Could Omashu even expand at this point? It's a giant pyramid sitting on like a tiny rock. So that could be interesting to see how that's developed. But yeah, and then just, they blew me away with this city and just how much animation they've incorporated. It looks beautiful, the painting, the blimps, the trains, cars, all of it looks so amazing. I love that nothing feels like our modern time, but it feels close to it. It has this aesthetic of Avatar being like the Asian inspired stuff and having that culture in there. Like the cars look very much like, it look like a fusion between typical Asian architecture with the roofs of the cars and then also just being a car itself. So I do love that fusion of like a very much modernized version of traditional Asian style design. So it makes it feel like it's still in the world of Avatar, but yet also in line with modern times. It's so interesting to think about. Like they've got electricity now. I'm sure that they had electricity. There was like a fuse box on the boat. That is blowing my mind at the minute. It's so weird to think that that's like a thing now. And then I guess the sad thing of this is just learning the fates of other characters, because obviously Aang is now dead, so that was going to happen anyway. So that's just a shame, especially after just seeing the final and seeing him happy, and now he's just kicked the bucket, so that's meh. Yeah, then we got to see Katara, so I do love that we at least have one of them still alive. That's good, yes. And she does look like her grandmother, so it's just nice how that just sort of stays consistent. You have that tie to the old characters. Yeah, then of course I had to mention that Sokka's dead. That's great. I'm hoping at least one of them is still alive. I want to meet some again. I don't want just children. I want to see like them. If Katara's alive, some of them's got to be alive. Maybe not the older ones like Suki, Sokka, and Zuko, but Toph was like Aang's age, but then Aang's also dead. I don't know. It feels like they could have just killed any of them, and maybe any of them are still alive. I don't know, but why they have to confirm Sokka is dead? That's just annoying. Yeah, I think it is a good thing, because it's like a palate cleanser, because they would all be very old people anymore, so that wouldn't make great protagonists. They could make it funny, but I guess it wouldn't make sense. You have a new generation that you're doing this with. I do like that Korra doesn't feel like any of the old cast. She does feel like her own character and someone new, so they haven't tried to shoehorn in like an Aang personality to keep people like thinking that it's Aang. So I do like that this completely new character. Like all the children feel different as well. They don't feel at all like their parents. Tanzin does not feel like Aang at all. Seems kind of strict and like stiff, and I guess that's the same for Lin. She feels very much almost a bit hostile, brutish. I mean, no, that kind of works for Toph, but like she's a police officer. That doesn't feel right for Toph. There's a lot going on. I hope we get more info and answers. I hope they're not just side characters. I hope they're important, and because they are, again, the saviors of the world's children. So I hope we get more on them, just seeing what is going on there. Yeah, I think it's just nice to get that sort of closure on the old cast, because this kind of did it well, and now I can like look forward to just meeting new ones, I guess, because they mentioned that it's a generation thing. I'm hoping that there is like a new Team Avatar type of thing that isn't just Korra. That would make sense. She needs friends, and I doubt that she'd just be surrounded by old people and the children of past cast. So yeah, I think this did do a good job of just making it be sad, but also good closure in that the characters have moved on now. But yeah, then looking at Talzin, I think it's Tanzin. I'm going with Tanzin. Looking at him, it's so cool that they do have like Air Nation still going, and that you have that sort of thing there. Aang had children, and he had 3 children that just Kaya and Bumi and Tanzin. So Tanzin, Air Nation guy, seems to be keeping like the culture alive. He has a sky bison, love that, so they're not all dead. That is great. Has children that seem to be all capable of airbending. And he also has a wife that's basically adopted the Air Nation culture. Love that sort of thing. It gives me such a good insight into what the family is like. That Tanzin is trying to keep the culture alive, and he's keeping it going because his wife has also adopted the culture herself. She's come into it, and they're keeping it going like that. And then I love the little slight gaze he gave to Aang's statue. So there is like a deep grief going on with him that his father is gone. He's got to be a main character because he's going to be teaching Korra airbending, and he's like the only airbending master left. Surprised he wasn't named after Gyatso, to be honest. Considering Bumi and Kaya names got like passed down, surprised he was not named Gyatso. I feel like that one was obvious. Don't know where Tanzin came from. Aang's Fire Nation friend was Kuzan. That wasn't used, it was Tanzin. Where did Tanzin come from? But yeah, then you have Lin, who is Toph's daughter. That is cool that she got a relationship, she found someone and had a child, and she's a police officer. That is interesting that sort of happened. Yeah, because she's very strict, and there's not really much to go on. Toph just feels stubborn. She doesn't really care about a lot, and I would doubt she would care about the enforcement of laws and rules. So it's weird that her child does. And plus her child doesn't seem a lot like Toph, which I think is a good thing, because you don't want to just have a mirrored version of the same character, because that would just be nostalgia. I want to see a character who's related to old ones but can stand on their own. So I do like that Lin is different. I'm just trying to understand the connection there. How is she this different? She had scars on her face, and with police officers, would she be like a metal bender? I need more information. I feel like I love this episode because it's given me so much to think about. There's so much going on, and I cannot wait to just get into more of it now. And then the villain, that's the bit that's like hooked me so much now. It's a non-bending villain. That is like so cool in just how the first show dealt with non-benders in a world full of benders, and they didn't leave them out. They were just as important as everyone else. Love that. Now you have this where it's become more modern and everyone's divided. There's bending supremacy, or at least that's what they think. We haven't actually seen it. We've just seen the oppressed class that believe they are oppressed, and they are accusing people like Katara of oppressing them. That we know is wrong because she just showed up. She hasn't oppressed anyone. Just her presence alone is not oppressing. But it's so interesting that they're going down this line, because even Ozai didn't do this, which is so cool. That they're going down an aspect of villainy that they never even touched upon in the original show. It makes us feel new and intriguing. And it works well, because Korra is still new at being an avatar. So now she has not only to deal with a non-bending opponent, but even a political aspect to go down. This guy has supporters, and it's a political thing. It's not like blind loyalty to a nation's head. It's a political thing. All these people that would join it fully agree with it, on board with it. It's not like, oh, not all of them are evil. These people believe in the political goal. Like, I can't wait to get more on this now, because like, what do they want out of this? Do they want, like, how would they want freedom from their oppressors of bending? I can understand, like, police officers, they wouldn't be able to do that because it's very much metal bending. They wouldn't be able to keep up. Would they want to be part of the police force then? But then they would just end up falling by the wayside. It's going to be very interesting to see what their motivation is, what their goal is at the end of all of this, and how nuanced can they be. Are they going to be outright villains, or will they be more understanding to them? I wouldn't mind if they're just outright villains like Ozai, because that was done incredibly well, but it would also be cool to get a more nuanced villain, one that can maybe you can have a debate with or understand why they're doing what they're doing. And I think as a premiere for the show, this did a great job as well. Writing-wise and character-wise, I think they captured a lot of what made Avatar great. Just the animation, personalities, you still have, it still feels like the Avatar world. That's what's gotten me really excited now. It feels like Avatar, but advanced. We saw advancements in Avatar with submarines being made, tanks, war blimps, and now that has been taken a whole step further where they built an entire city with skyscrapers in Aang's lifetime. This is so cool. And it's such an intriguing perspective of the show. They've set up so much in so little time, already hooked on just the appearance alone, then the story as well, great. Non-bending villain, bending supremacy, the Avatar who's new at this and doesn't really understand the culture because she's been kept in a compound for most of her life, so she wouldn't understand how society functions, so she has to adapt to what this is, and also learn airbending and get into the more spiritual nature of being the Avatar as well. It's a very good premiere. So much happens, I feel like there's not really any fault, it's just a little like, and that's simply because they didn't know if they were going to get another season. So yeah, this has made me very excited for what will come next. So yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video for episode 2. See ya!